Can you hear this drum? Walking on the laughter of a melody. And does the rhythm tell you come? Does the spirit do attach to the symphony? Does it tell you that your heart is higher? And does it tell you that your pain is higher? Does it wash away all your unlovely? Well, are you ready for a brand new discovery? Calypso, Calypso, Calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, Calypso, Calypso.
Good morning, good morning. I don't know if I have to introduce myself or if all you know the voice just by knowing the voice, but you are tuned in to Real Talk with Irvin Felix on 648 television, where you get the truth, real unity, Trinidad and Tobagonians, all patriots. We log on and we listen to the one and only Irvin Felix on 648 television. Yes, the Douglas listening too. Blessings. Be safe. Stay strong. Trinidad and Tobago is on the rise. Bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, bless. Good afternoon. I must say I thank you very much to our brother, our minister. We must say thank you very much to our senator. We must say thank you very much to Mr. Anil Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are aware of what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago, we all know that that's a patriot. So I'm thanking him very much for the audio, because together we're doing this. Again, 648 TV, we continue to say it's about love, it's about unity, and it's also about facts. So to my UNC family, to my coalition team, as you come up, I just want to encourage you. If you haven't yet, I want to encourage you to like, I want to encourage you to subscribe. I want you to call somebody who knows somebody, because our responsibility is to stay focused where we getting the relevant information. So don't let the morning break and you ain't catch Ground Report, please. Please don't let the morning break and you ain't catch Douglas Politics. Breaking Dawn is out and about doing a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know, it's 12 o'clock, so you're catching your boy Irvin with Real Talk. And as the afternoon navigate, you know, we have other programs in place. So we just want to encourage you. We just want to remind you, don't let nobody bring false information to you. This is what we're talking about today, because we have a lot of false information going on and around Trinidad and Tobago. So as much as we navigate, ladies and gentlemen, my 648 team, my Facebook team, our YouTube team, again, we thanking YouTube for giving us the opportunity to express ourselves on your platform. We tend to pick music that we don't own, but we believe that Trinidad and Tobago and the entire world needs to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, again, it's your host, co-host of 648 Television, co-host, ladies and gentlemen, and I continue to say that because, you know, this platform is basically a family-based, a family-oriented platform. So as we go along, we express ourselves. But this thing is about togetherness. So as we navigate today, I want you to call somebody who knows somebody. I need you to link a friend, link a family, because apparently it has some information that everybody is not aware of. But if there's one thing I am glad and one thing that I appreciate, we mightn't support the former Prime Minister, but seeing that he's back out and about in the public domain, we might as well bring some information to him, because apparently he don't know that he have questions to answer. So as much as Faris Alwari himself have some questions to answer, and these questions that they have to answer, ladies and gentlemen, before they end up before any court, it would be fair that they answer to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Any one of us who listening, any person who tuning in from the outside, anybody who have basic common sense in this country will explain to you, we run past politics. We run past politics. When is election time again? Then we go start to tell you about Miss Kamala and UNC and tell you about all of this thing. What we're telling you is that we have representation with the UNC. We have representation with the coalition as we continue to endorse TPP over there in Tobago. So ladies and gentlemen, as you come up, I need you to call somebody who knows somebody, because we're going to have to discuss and notice that we start back playing treacherous games again for some strange reason. Mr. Pararat name back in the public domain. So we go try to get down to the bottom of that, because we have to show brothers and sisters that we are aware. So you can't play no trickery digital game with us in this country and feel that you could misguide the population when the rest of the population, matter of fact, the entire population, one would want to believe by now, even PNM supporters supposed to be sitting back and waiting to hear the outcome of this conversation with Faris Alwari and CPEP. This is serious conversation. So who want to bring up conversation about the name is on Interpol list? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring you a piece of evidence, a piece of information, a piece of audio that have already been spoken. And if any part of this audio is the truth, well then, the Honorable former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, because you know they like titles, the Honorable former Prime Minister have a responsibility to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, is they went to CARICOM. They went to CARICOM. They complaining about a state of emergency with a government that we agreed we have a crime problem. So we know we needed a commissioner of police. Our governing authority got us a commissioner of police. Based on our commissioner of police recommendation, it was advised for the safety of the brothers and sisters in this nation, let we head into a state of emergency. Now, thank you. Now, the heights is, ladies and gentlemen, is one out of two things. What the average Trinbagonian citizen accustomed to is a commissioner of police with a government in the middle of their commissioner of police affairs. This is not where we are in this country. Matter of fact, first the thing is recent. This is what we have to take, we have to take the experiences and discuss it publicly. First the thing, just the other day we came out of a state of emergency, so today we're back in a state of emergency. Two major difference. Different government, different commissioner of police. Two major difference. Now mind me, ladies and gentlemen, had this thing been a political structure, a political endorsement, or a political party thinking about how it will look, we wouldn't have been in a state of emergency today. Let me be real and reasonable. Our Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, is a well-known, well-established attorney. She is. And she will have enough sense, being the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, to understand heading into a state of emergency. But then listen, we hired a commissioner of police to do a duty. Based on the commissioner of police recommendation, this is what it is we're doing. It was up to the government to trust the commissioner of police, and it was also up to the government to study how it go look. If we trust the commissioner of police, it will show that we are concerned about the safety and the livelihood of Trinbagonian citizens. We could take the prisoner, the one prisoner, and make that be the number one topic of the whole thing, or we could be real. We have a crime problem or not? And if we do have a crime problem and we hire a commissioner of police, ain't nobody catching me in no conversation to bad talk me commissioner of police. Ain't nobody catching me, and don't let no Trinidad and Tobago, please. Do not let nobody catch you in no conversation. Matter of fact, we dealing by condolences to this family, by. You all saw the video with the young lady who was dismembered, who they found in the suitcase in the lake. You saw that video? And if your eye, seeing that I into the media, I saw the video. I don't know if you happen to see it. And let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen, the type of activities that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't let nobody catch you in no conversation. Don't be a part and no conversation condemning your commissioner of police. This is no confusion, no bacchanal thing. This is Trinidad and Tobago have found themselves in a very ticklish, troubling position. Troubling position. And the troubling position that we find ourselves in, nobody comfortable. You know what's the good thing about it? We have to hold on to the facts of what we're dealing with. You know what's the good thing about it? Today in Trinidad, we could sit down and actually have a comprehensive problem and say that it have a crime problem. The former administration, you couldn't do that. Every time you mention crime, them think you're talking about the government. The only reason why every time you mention crime, an administration will think you're talking about the government is because they was playing games with Commissioner of Police. Today we stand with the UNC, ladies and gentlemen. Today we stand with Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessa. We stand with the coalition. Again, I must send out some love to my member of parliament. Today is our office day down in Cedros, Mr. Ernesto Raymond Kiza. I must send love to Anil Roberts and Khadija. I mean, boy, I wish I could sit down and call out all the names. All I know it would take a lot of time. But our responsibility is to thank them, because what we get in here, we don't have what we want yet, you know. But what we needed was a government who understand where the people of Trinidad and Tobago is at and where we're trying to go. And then we needed a government that understand it, not racially, not spiritually. Because you know we listen to some conversations over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, our responsibility. You see, when I out the road, I'm telling all of this, and this is something that we need to start to do. When I out the road, and I train my children to do this, and I'm asking you to do the same. You see the police officers, the same people who we just sit down and condemn, those persons are our families. So if I out the road, whether it's day or night, it ain't costing me nothing. Thank you very much for your service, sir. And while you're saying that day, let's get to realize how much time it is not said. Because every time you say it, our officer does ask you where you said it, and they know you have to be like, thank you very much for your service, officer. Some of the time they laugh, some of the time they say thank you very much and give a thumbs up. And if it is, we have to actually, because you can't run a country without policing. You can't do that. You can't run a country without policing. So we have a police service. Ladies and gentlemen, April 28th, we went resoundingly and we voted for the UNC. Our responsibility on an everyday basis is to understand the circumstances and the position that we found ourselves with. We have a prime minister ready to work, a minister of agriculture ready to work. We have a minister of local government ready to work. We have a minister of education ready to work, minister of health. All our ministers is ready to work. Senators cock and ready. And today we still quarreling about boards. Why? Because the former administration decided to play political games and they continue to utilize political trickery on the population. If they have a citizen in this country supposed to find itself saying that you don't agree, you see how the brother call in and he say, I do not agree with the state of emergency, I taking that. You're entitled to that. But to be collaborating with conversations with people who are politically wounded, the former administration is hanging on to every form of thread that they could find. I want to ask you a question. They're explaining to us. Listen to the conversation. First, the thing is about ricochet and games. They're explaining to us that Mr. Barry Padarat shut down basically the airport or some flight. Listen how petty and listen how foolish the conversation gets. Mr. Barry Padarat shut down one of the plane because some party he having. Barry Padarat is not entitled to have a celebration. He ain't leave and gone outside, you know. He gone to Tobago. So to start with, that is showing, you see all the racial hypocrite talk that Marvin Gonzalez and them talking, everything is unfolding right before your eyes. All they're doing is reversing the conversation. That is all they're doing. Your responsibility is to sit down and analyze what is taking place before you. Mr. Barry Padarat will take God-fearing, law-abiding people off of our plane because he having party and he called the airline to tell the airline that this is the conversation, this is what they're trying to give us this afternoon. What we're trying to find out about is how Faris Alwari could end up having New Village. Blessed afternoon. Blessed afternoon to everyone up on the Real Talk Show. Blessed afternoon to my UNC family, my coalition team. Blessed afternoon to everybody. The conversation this afternoon they're trying to give us to divert the reality of Faris Alwari manipulating the CEO of CPEP. That ain't no jokey conversation. Yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday, the 22nd of July. Ladies and gentlemen, up to now, we're only out and about talking about Interpol. Up to now, Stuart Young ain't peep out yet. Up to now, where is Miss Penelope Becker? Where's she at? Because Trinidad and Tobago, we need some answers. We're talking $1.4 billion. Nearly slipped through our fingers. And we practiced dotishness April 28th. When I told all we standing with the UNC, despite where you was politically standing. This afternoon, despite where you are politically standing, the reality of Trinidad and Tobago needs to soak into you. You need to understand that it's representation that you need. Representation is what it is we need. Especially to my brothers and sisters that claim my ethnicity and under the impression that our East Indian population is personally against you. I'm asking you today, navigating in the same society, with the same shortcomings, with the same corrupt governments, how could our East Indian brothers be a part of business? What is our excuse? It's time we start to ask ourselves some personal questions home among our families. Understand the argument. Understand the argument. Understand what you arguing and understand where you are. You take Barry Padarat conversation where the boy going off to celebrate and you bring that to tie in to say that Barry Padarat and them mistreating the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to ask the population today. Just yesterday, a bus shut down on the road. I wonder if I could get a video. Just yesterday, a bus shut down on the road. Yesterday. I wonder if I could get that, boy. Yeah, you're getting that. You're getting that. I had to run down in Roberts today too. Yes. Just yesterday, a bus shut down on the road. Somebody pull out their phone. They explain to Trinidad and Tobago. They say the bus on fire. The bus driver asks everybody to come off the bus. We get a comprehensive breakdown of our video. The slightest crime take place, it have video footage of that. Every single thing in this country, even the whole UNC election, it have footage of that. Look, even Stuart Young and Faris Alwari and them corruption, it have data on that. Could somebody in the People's National Movement, or if Rowley, because he connected to Interpol right now, could send the information, send the video, send the data, bless afternoon. Could you send the evidence? And if you cannot send evidence that Barry Padarat was on the phone, put the person in the airline, in the PIACO, who he called, let that person come up and testify. Because based on what we've seen going on with the CEO at CPEP, bring that evidence for us. And if you cannot produce that evidence, I want to ask, as somebody who is expecting a proper day work on an everyday basis from Barry Padarat, give him a rest, please. Please. If you cannot deliver the relevant data, don't utilize. Lily, only 1 second. If you cannot utilize what is taking place in this country, If the former administration and their supporters refuse, they could change this. Refuse to thank our government, we have no problem with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be repeating what we did yesterday. While you're putting up a comment, please end it with a yellow, either a yellow heart, green or blue. Please, because we are in full support of our government. I totally stand with my Prime Minister, I stand with the cabinet, I stand with the administration. Thank you. I stand with our ministers, our senators. Brother, we stand with our councillors. Only before we go forward, let me say a word of prayer. Alia. Alioi. You can monitor the comments who are going on there, please. Apparently, there's something going on there. So let me make sure that we're on point. Although I know the viewers and them just put them in the place quick. But as it get disrespectful, because today we're running something, only go sidetrack what taking place. Heavenly Father, is your son Irvin. Father, I just want to thank you. I want to give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. Father, thank you for covering Trinidad and Tobago. Lord, we ask that you cover our Commissioner of Police. Father, we lift up our Honorable Prime Minister before you, the entire cabinet, every councillor, every minister, every person represented under her. Father, we ask that you encamp your angels around their offices, around their businesses, around their families. Father, you cover their going outs and their coming ins. Father, I pray that every decision that continue to be made, Father, you continue to utilize our government so that it continue to be made based on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Father, we give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. We lift up every marriage before you, every small and big business before you. Father, we lift up our entire police service before you. Father, we ask that you have your way. Father, you weed out any negative element, any negative aspect. And Father, you just take charge of our policing in our nation today, Lord. Father, you cover our commissioner and every representing police officer that understand that Trinidad and Tobago is dependent on them for the right representation. Lord, we give you the praise, we give you all the honor and all the glory. I want to pray for my family in a special way. Cover my wife, cover my children, cover each and every one of our viewers, our listeners, all those who share, all those who comment. Father, cover this platform as we navigate forward and we continue to pray for every single person that speaks on a daily basis to bring about the relevant information so that brothers and sisters stay updated and stay aware. Father, we even want to pray for the naysayers and those who practicing trickery. Father, we ask that you change their minds, change their hearts, so that the outcome and their actions be different, Lord. Father, have your way in today's conversation. Have your way in today's show. Cover me in no other name but Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I think I had enough day. Time for me to get to work. Yeah, they're watching what going on there. So we're watching what going on there, ladies and gentlemen. Any negative thing, their school, we go block it one time. Why? Kati, why? Kati, we want to time there now. So let me see what actually going on. So I want to say a blessed good afternoon to Jess School. Blessed good afternoon to Pearl. Sammy, blessed good afternoon to Kati, blessed good afternoon to Trini, blessed good afternoon. Matter of fact, blessed good afternoon to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Blessed good afternoon to the Caribbean, the world extension. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another episode of Real Talk, and it's your boy, Irvin. Here is, we had a talk. And let me get down to this one here now. The conversation based on what it is we getting in. They try to ricochet us and dance us with a Barry Padarat thing. So right, we go shake off that, I know we business. Let me move forward. And we thank God that Barry Padarat was able to travel to and from Tobago. Him and whoever it is went with him. Let me thank God that they had a peaceful event. Let me thank God that everything was good with that. So thank you very much for letting us know Barry Padarat business. I don't think you wanted me to know that, but I know no problem anyway. So thank God that he went back to work Monday as normal and handled the scene. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you, please do not get caught up with old talk and mama guy. Listen to the number one conversation. The number one conversation in Trinidad and Tobago is Faris Alwari and his corrupt activities. Now, mind me, just 3 weeks ago, the conversation is, matter of fact, PNM campaigned and told Trinidad and Tobago that if UNC win election, they will shut down CPEP. I want PNM to start and answer some questions, all of them. Is it that all of you know exactly what it is Faris Alwari did and all you know that all you had to hide up that? And the only how you could continue hiding it from the people of Trinidad and Tobago is that all you had to win election? Is it that is why it is? So then, is it safe for me to assume that every single person that is sitting and claim that they represent in the PNM, especially those who claim to win the seat, especially those, is it that each and every one of you are guilty? And if you guys are guilty and had that relevant information, because Trinidad and Tobago, let us not get sidetracked and sidelined. In their campaign, each and every one of them spoke and they told us, if UNC win the election, UNC will shut down CPEP, UNC will shut down URP, and they go putting their own people to work. That is what they market. That is what they market. When the UNC won the election, and we come to understand that they try to redo contracts, those of us who actually supporting the coalition, those of us who actually supporting righteousness in Trinidad and Tobago, we honestly just thought was just a whole season of somebody playing the fool in the offices. We honestly thought was somebody playing the fool in the offices. When you do get to understand the facts now, ladies and gentlemen, it boils down to that some of the contractors had even 18 months on their contract still. So why would you do over a 3-year contract to somebody who have 18 months on their contract? Is it that you trying to control the narrative? Is it that you trying to continue controlling the money? Is it that this is facts? That is ghost gang and its kickbacks that the PNM actually was living on. And what's sad and disgraceful about this, the heights in the food chain that this level of conversation have reached, is the local government minister, the former, let me fix it here because the world watching. we local government minister, not on that stupidness. Is the former local government minister, Mr. Faris Alwari. Faris Alwari hit me one of the ghosts. No, I make sure and put that background because Trinidad and Tobago needs to understand what was ripped from us. They stripped the oil field from us, disrespected every single citizen, and they took the business class. You know why it was okay to make the business class beg for US? Because the former administration predominantly know who they did not make investment in. It wouldn't sound sensible to see an African stand up in the public domain or on social media explaining to you that he can't get US to bring in grocery, to supply his grocery. They don't know that conversation would have never take place. So that is why that was okay to strip this from us. Listen, the game's being played now. Today, everybody asking Faris, where are you? Here we run past the conversation with UNC shutting down CPEP. Based on where the conversation reached and based on the words coming from the CEO, ladies and gentlemen, take one and one and put it together. And you tell me if anybody from the former administration supposed to have you bad talking the commissioner of police, supposed to have you bad talking the minister of Homeland Securities, supposed to have you bad talking the government. Listen to the information in the public domain. It's not like the last time, you know. The last time they come out, they call with brother Anil Roberts' name. They talk all kind of big boy talk. Evidence before your eyes. You know, the PNM supporters and asking for clarity. Evidence in front of your nose. You know, they're asking for clarity. Listen to me. The fact that Faris name call. Hold on. Just this morning, I was having a conversation with some persons. You see that pastor? That pastor is, I think we could publicly display he as the most lying pastor in Trinidad and Tobago. That pastor is a poor example. Even if that pastor racial, something wrong with the head. How they just talk like they don't like East Indian people? But even if you don't like East Indian people, why would you sit down on a man radio station, promote racialism, drag down a ethnicity, drag down a political party, and then bring one ad in the man radio station? You sit down there for years, you ain't bring one ad in the man radio station. This is what them pastor them does do. So I think Trinidad and Tobago, but you don't even bother to type up your name over here. Because I check out what is he dealing with. The people not, but even the former administration not even supporting him because them and all going to realize this line thing, they can't continue living on that. The fact remains is that they continue to be in poverty. Reality is sitting home. Our responsibility is to have the conversation. So here is the conversation today, ladies and gentlemen. The conversation today is that UNC, this is the conversation coming from them. Apparently, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, this is what they're trying to give us here now. Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, apparently, and our new commissioner of police, apparently them is buddies. The two of them good. This is what, because in the former prime minister era, this is what went on with him. He and Mr. Gary Griffith went personal head on head. Now listen how foolish this thing is, you know. The head of the National Security Council, which was Mr. Rowley, and the commissioner of police at the time, even with that commissioner of police, when he became the former commissioner of police, years them going back and forth on social media, on the news. Who pay for all them press conference? Or ever ask yourself them kind of questions? And them going back and forth while we was having 27, 18 and 19 murders a weekend. You know? Me telling you about the weekend, I'm telling you the weekend. You know? Them going back and forth and playing who manhood bigger than who manhood while people were dying in this country. You know? This is what happened under the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rowley. You know? Mr. Rowley is back and bold in the public domain, trying to explain to us to divert the population. Trying to divert the population, explaining to us that his name is on an Interpol's list. Boy, again, Trinidad and Tobago, all you have to be foolish. I don't care where you politically stand. I know they ain't catching nobody in the UNC with this dotishness. I don't care your ethnicity. I know they ain't catching certain people with this dotishness. You have to be totally crazy in your mind. The commissioner of police already came out with the data explaining. They already did the check on the Interpol's list. The former prime minister, as far as our commissioner of police who have the authorization to get the information direct from the list. Our commissioner of police already report back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That is a blatant lie. So your responsibility today is not to entertain and carry on that conversation about they did say. The former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he did not put in relevant contribution to get the population of Trinidad and Tobago to go against our Commissioner of Police. Please do not catch yourself in that, please, ladies and gentlemen. He did not represent the people. He represent African good. He represent Indian good. Boy, as much as we know who he was representing, he didn't even represent them good. He didn't represent them good. We understand that he have a love for a particular group of people. But think about it. We ourselves know people in that group. And that group doesn't think like that. They don't function like that. So the fact that I am an African, and my conversation I explained to you is that in the past 10 years under the stewardship of Rowley, who back out again in the public domain, you can get into audio, you know. Rowley, who back out again in the public domain. Comprehensively, I can tell you comfortably, before Rowley came into office, all the conversation was PNM and make no investment in the African population. That was the conversation. PNM have a history of not investing in the African population. And Rowley get the work. Matter of fact, he didn't just get the work. He dragged Manning under the bus. Get have videos, if you carefully search through social media, where people spit in Patrick Manning's face on behalf of Rowley. And Rowley was given the opportunity. You know what happened under his stewardship? The oil industry, look at it. had to close. Not because of money. Based on when you look at the data, because of partner thing. He who said, we just keep each other's secrets. He who put it out. He put it out, not me. We just keep each other's secrets. He said it. And he boasted while he was saying it. He was confident while he was saying it. Nobody didn't put he there to keep no secrets. Nobody didn't put the former administration there to close down Petrotrin. Nobody didn't put the former administration there to explain to our senior citizens who are responsible for building this country. Nobody didn't put them there to tell our elders, whether East Indian or African, that they're talking like they're entitled to pension. Nobody didn't give them that work for that. Nobody didn't hire the next madman from Port of Spain. You come to advise me, I live in quite down in Cedros. I'm working as a security officer in St. Augustine. Your advice to the people. Madam Speaker, if a car pay for the gas, I jump on a bicycle. Listen the level I read that. Boy, these people and them is mad people. There's mad people in this country. And you tell a man from down Cedros to write to St. Augustine if he can't buy gas. And the very next day, the citizens have you circulating on social media with one of the highest end vehicles, which we're glad for you. Trinidad and Tobago, we get a conversation in alignment. When we see our leaders and our representatives, even our pastors, with a nice vehicle, if you watching that and just envy them thing as a Trinbagonian, or do some personal adjustment. That is not what you expected. I have enough sense to know that my representative today, they come from families, they came from communities just like me. The clarity I'm trying to bring to Trinidad and Tobago, especially those who sitting in predominantly African communities. A piece of thing peddle and they say the reason why African in nothing is because certain ethnicities don't want them to have anything. And when you look at the facts, you look at the evidence, who have been your representative? The same party you supporting has predominantly ran this country. So then what is your excuse? Picture me as an African sitting down this afternoon, the 22nd of July, 2025, telling you, a PNM till I'm dead. And when you call me to tell me when you can get a message to somebody for me, or you know somebody I could get a vehicle at a reasonable price between courts and all these people and them, who it is your free go get the best discount. I can't tell you nothing because I'm connected to nothing. I doesn't sell nothing. I don't have nothing. And this is what actually was done to us. Look at their activists. Look at the people over the years who utilize the word activists. See what they have. Bless good afternoon, caller. Activists. Bless good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, brother. How you do?
I'm good, man. You like the distraction yesterday, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, a man seeing you in the list, boy.
Games and more games in this country. This is why I'm telling my country.
You
have to mind the business.
They're trying.
Go
they
ahead,
don't like this commissioner of police,
Yeah.
They don't like the man. They say he kissing up to the UNC.
Because that's the customary thing when the next administration in power. So they're thinking it's the same thing.
I see the man getting some results done.
Yes.
I see the man working.
Yes.
I don't know what them want. They had earlier than the next one, and nothing doesn't do it under that. Right? The man come yesterday. He come to crack down on that case and he catch whoever was involved in it.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the assailants dead.
For real.
So I don't know what they want again. Like, another kidnapping take place. So I guess he know he do. I hope a lot of people they
I'm going to run what it is he do for you. I'm going to play what it is he do for you. You're going to hear the reason why he's actually supposed to be on Interpol's list.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to hear it now?
That man, I don't know if that man going to have dementia or he going to have Alzheimer or some kind of thing, boy. Really. And here, he come out there and attack the Prime Minister, the AG, and the Commissioner of Police, saying that's how them conspiring. It sounds like email gate part 2. They conspiring against him to defame he. And he's the one defamed them, you know. And your partner last night, he went out on a tantrum because it seemed to me that everybody forget about Alwari and all this money and thing that was in the CPF business. They forget about like the distraction, you know.
Distraction?
Like whole day, yeah.
Oh.
Whole morning is this thing that they're talking about this man. I don't know what the hell. That is just a red herring. He throw there to repel people from that thing with what's going on there with the ex AG, right? He's supposed to be if let me say this commissioner was in the Prime Minister and them pocket. He had done that already and then sending men to investigate a very long time. Me nobody pocket.
Caller. Hello?
You
hear me?
Yeah.
Let me explain something. Nobody not catching me having that conversation, and between me and you, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, your man pick a cabinet that is well balanced and well rounded. Our responsibility is Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, she trusts Mr. Alexander, she trusts Mr. Sturge. And these fellas and them is our responsibility to endorse that they get the relevant tools and resources to execute the task. Mr. Alexander had the responsibility to implement a commissioner of police. Could we say in Trinidad and Tobago a commissioner of police was installed without confusion, without bacchanal, without any ups and downs?
Remember that commissioner of police, the government didn't pick here. He comes from within the ranks, eh?
Thank you. This is why I'm breaking it down. You notice I remove when I reached the commissioner, I didn't bother to mention Ms. Kamala, I didn't bother to mention that. I want to Mr. Alexander.
He was the only candidate that put forward. So he had no other choice but to pick him.
Thank you very much. So he was chosen, and on top of that, he was installed. It's our responsibility. Ain't nobody getting me to participate in a negative conversation while I want positive results. They ain't catching you in that. Don't let them catch you in that. Nah.
No. But that's just the way they're playing out. I tell you, all of this from the propaganda playbook. You know.
And I want to remind you something too. I
want to remind you. You gotta see that different to hear, you know.
No, let me remind you something too, because this is those of us who actually support, because it's our responsibility to remind the supporters. Remember Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, after the announcement was made that the UNC and the coalition won the election, when she swore in her cabinet, remember she said, if you're not working, adjustments will have to be made. That is not the covenant she made with the people.
Yeah.
Well, right. So let me see now, man. If the commissioner ain't do anything, well, then we rotate commissioner, but we can't condemn the commissioner. Well, we know give him the work. It's like we go be saying we want them to fail. No bother with that former administration with that conversation, you know. We want to know what's going on with Faris. We want to know what is the situation with CPEP. What day he and that CEO meet. Who on the board else know about this? This is what we want to talk about. They ain't catching me in that.
Yeah. And not only the commissioner, police are getting involved in that, the DGP are getting involved in that because he's the one that's on the charges.
Yes.
That's why without you can't charge nobody. The police can bring the evidence, but he had to be the man to make the charge.
Yes.
Remember this case that they bring up there with Nelson? That fall apart, right? We start taxpayer money going down the drain there. And nothing come out of that. Red herring.
For real.
Red herring. $10 million. A taxpayer money going behind that. And we still away because of the same so he involved in all kind of shit already. Costing the taxpayer millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And in our case, they have 1,400,000. So he has to pay the price of that. You could jump high, you could jump low.
Yes.
Right? You notice he talking about Jesus, quiet. Because he like married out a little lamb. He was white as so he's quiet. We ain't in him again.
Yes.
They know the battle in the keys. So that's why only come with the nonsense. to turn people away from all these investigations that taking place.
Yes.
People go down go down and exploit it. I tell Andy and all of them fellas, they have to keep that on the front burner. That is the main thing.
Now,
They get distracted.
That's the main thing we're dealing with here. I looking to get down in something where I believe this man's supposed to be on Interpol's list. We have to get back to that. They can't distract us with this Barry Padarat conversation. I find Barry doing the work proper. Barry's calling out the relevant information. This is what we want, transparency. This is what it is we voted for. They're going to have to continue hating Annie Roberts too, because I'm going to have to run piece of Annie Roberts today too. They must.
Yeah,
because when the facts is spoken.
Because the whole story with everything, you know.
Yeah.
The whole affidavit and all this sort of thing, I read it there. Real thing he bring out there. But the PNM, bloggers on the PNM talk show host wouldn't talk about that, deflecting from it. They're talking about other things. They want to blame Kamala for every damn thing. If they bunks the two, they want to blame she for that. And the thing is 10 years in power and nothing in doing now. Every day they cry, the crime is getting worse, the crime is getting worse. As this commissioner of police started to take action now, they say he should not call no state of emergency. He has no right to call this, he has no right to that. Like national security business really have all they know what's going on. There's gangs around this country now, you know. And they see how they interfere with their bread and butter, so they're getting like jet now. They want to fly out and buy people now because of that. They think they could cause unrest by them not getting the contracts in URP, because URP they used to get all the contracts. They have went on there. $251 million and they only $2 million could have come for, you know. They know where the money gone. Nobody know where that money gone.
True.
And Gary, that's what he said. Because that is where they're funding the gangs from. So who was funding the gangs from the beginning? Not the PNM?
Yeah.
Madness. And this government take front now and decide to shut down all of that, because they can't continue funding gangs and them buying guns and shooting up people and all this other thing. Oh man, this is that.
Thank you.
It's a revolving door process. You have to nip down people who don't like it lost. Like you know what they are do now? They are auto them gang a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
Right? So they look at one of them, just like we do in El Salvador. And until they do that, these gangsters and then will just continue just recruiting little children into the mischief making. Then look at little children they get killed.
Yeah.
Because Martina will get shot down up in Belmonte. His father say he didn't know he saw a gangster. Yeah, and his son posing up with AK-47 and kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they gun him down. So you see, you have everything got just to protect them and to save them, save their future.
Right.
I know it. How good man.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. And the caller is so true. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to run, let me run this one here, because this is not a plain thing. And I had to run our brother Annie Roberts today too, just in case you missed it. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it is our responsibility to stay updated with facts. So my responsibility, although don't feel Faris alone hunting. No, seeing that Mr. Rowley climb back out of his hole, it is our responsibility to remind Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that a group of persons went to CARICOM, they continued to spend with money, CARICOM, and they wanted to take the criminal. You see, we end up in a state of emergency, and the police service is getting down to the root of the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, our responsibility is to ask our governing authority, because we listen to the conversation. It's a police with old vests, it's a police we need proper uniform, and we're trying to get with police and them a little increase while we at it. We can't have the conversation now, but that is for future references. But if we want the best out of our police service, our responsibility is to endorse, encourage, and support. Matter of fact, we have to pray for our police service. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, you want the best out of the government? Likewise, endorse, support, share, make sure and get the information. Don't let nobody come and tell you, you ain't hear what Miss Kamala say, you ain't hear what Anil say. No, it ain't costing you nothing to go up and get the relevant information for yourself. All of us speaking publicly. So don't let nobody come and tell you, Felix say. What I'm going to run for you here is questions, brothers and sisters in high places asking. So seeing that Mr. Rowley peep out the head, well then you could bring some answers to the brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago. Because what they're speaking about here is while you were sitting in it as Prime Minister, while you had the helm to guide Trinidad and Tobago forward.
Good evening to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, and this is Operation Liberation. In the closing stages of the UN the Caribbean Heads of Government conference held here in Barbados, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Rowley, stated that gangs should be classified as terrorist organizations. Mr. Rowley, I would like to say to you, sir, in fact, I can't call you sir. That's too good a term to address you by. I gotta say, boy, because your behavior to date has been nothing more than juvenile, asinine behavior. And one of the things that I have to say to you is that Trinidad and Tobago signed the UN Security Resolution 1373 anti-terrorist.
Ben, let me explain something there. I see this here. Right? And let me explain something there. Me no hero, me no champion, but you know why is I Trinidad going to answer this? I'm not sitting down here and pulling propaganda. I ain't pulling my guy and I'm not lying on nobody. If it is, we have to be a part of helping uplift the structure at Trinidad and Tobago. We must have real conversation. Me no bad man, me no drug dealer. I no way in alignment for that kind of bacchanal. So anytime that come my direction, Trinidad and Tobago, we listening. But at the end of the day, Ben, my responsibility is to let you know. Is God is in charge of this. God is the person who's showing up and he does put up and he does take down. Despite where you spiritually stand today, the truth is the truth. The reason why I speak how I speak, because I don't participate. Even notice me, I have no false profile and them kind of notishness. I don't entertain those type of things. I tell you, I support in UNC. You could walk down the road, you could walk up the road, you could go where you have to go. Just know, I support in UNC. I tell you, I love my wife. You could do what it is you have to do. Just know, is that what I'm dealing with. I tell you, I love God. Partners, I'm going to tell you something. I have been in this conversation, not today. And it's not today we have been doing this. The conversation reached so low. Give me back my thing. Listen what I'm talking about. I'm talking about uplifting my country. I'm talking about the corruption when people were supporting the former administration. I'm talking about that. Ben, let me explain something to you. I was a candidate, a UNC candidate in Point 14. I was walking Point 14 and telling the whole of Point 14, listen to me, despite what? UNC all the way. Ben, and come on me and mash up my car. Break my glass and all kind of thing. You know what come and happen? God used me in a way to make them same people depend on what we're doing. Then the type of support that we give out in Trinidad and Tobago, this thing has nothing to do with politics with me. Right? When Miss Kamala Posad says time and you hear Annie Roberts and them talk, if you hear in UNC, something wrong with your head. This morning, I didn't ask somebody to vote for you, and he had no reason to ask him. Nothing like that. It's representation we're talking about. And I would be a damn fool to hold on to the facts, knowing that we have a couple of African families who are doing reasonably well. And if, for some strange reason, all them families were doing reasonably well as Africans, sit back and watch other African businesses and other African family collapse because they started to talk to people in the former administration. They get too close to people in the former administration. A lot of them businesses closed down. A lot of them is paupers. So I have enough sense to know if I want any African to make it in business, to be successful, to get opportunity to move forward, PNM can't be in government. Right now, PNM is not in government. They who continue peeping out ahead. I have real information to give you the amount of updates the UNC and the coalition putting out on a weekly basis. Trinidad, we missing half of that. We missing half of those things. You know why? Because of the unnecessary conversation, and people in Trinidad and Tobago are supposed to look at what's taking place. The opposition is already the opposition. They have a responsibility to restructure themselves and come back. They can't do it. You know why? Because they have cocoa in the sun. They have to watch every time Mr. Munilal come to a press conference. He just might bring out a piece of corruption that was practiced. Every time Mr. Padarat come out in the public domain, he just might bring out a piece of corruption. Every time they hear Khadija Amin, Mr. Clyde Elder, Mr. Ernesto Raymond Kiza, well, worse if Mr. John Jeremy show up. Don't bounce your head and let them hear that Barry Padarat is in the vicinity. It's because like every single thing they touch was corrupt. And if you practice corruption and you have that kind of venom, well then okay then. Well then okay then. But the fact is, we have to get down to this conversation. It's God over everything, and God is in charge of what taking place here. So let me get down to this conversation. The former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is out and about having public conversation concerning Mr. Padarat, concerning Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, concerning the UNC, concerning the coalition. My responsibility, seeing that the Prime Minister, what is his name, boy? Kamal. I don't know if Kamal could find him, the reporter. I don't know if he could find him. But this piece of information here, we need some data.
Good evening to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, and this is Operation Liberation. In the closing stages of the the Caribbean Heads of Government conference held here in Barbados, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Keith Rowley, stated that gangs should be classified as terrorist organizations. Mr. Rowley.
Listen, new government, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, new ministers, up to now, they ain't come to tell we, them fellas should be classified as terrorists. Mr. Alexander have a responsibility here we ask for, based on his experience, because he himself used to wear the uniform. He said we need some vests. Remember, we are up to date with camera. We have to monitor with guns. We have to handle the situation. Up to now, this government ain't explained to us yet that we're dealing with terrorists. Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let them listen to who is the real terrorist. This is why this man's supposed to be on Interpol's list.
I would like to say to you, sir. In fact, I can't call you sir. That's too good a term to address you by. I gotta say, boy, because your behavior to date has been nothing more than juvenile, asinine behavior. And one of the things that I have to say to you is that Trinidad and Tobago signed the UN Security Resolution 1373 Anti-Terrorist Act on the 28th of September 2001. Also, prior to that, on the 19th of July 2007, Trinidad and Tobago also agreed and signed.
Ben, just for conversation's sake, if I was really deported, what that have to do with the conversation I'm crying today, Ben? Ben, yesterday, all they tried to utilize Padarats, all they tried to utilize Interpol. Now today, all they tried to utilize me. No, this program will go on, and we would speak about the corruption that you supporting, Ben.
To the Bioweapons Convention. Trinidad and Tobago also signed the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2018, which prohibits the use of biological weapons and also prohibits the assistance, financing, and supporting of the use of biological weapons. Trinidad and Tobago also signed on the 25th of September 2013 the Arms Trade Treaty. But yet, you come to Barbados and sit down in a Caribbean Heads of Government conference and tell the CARICOM members that gang members need to be classified as terrorists. I want to ask you one question, Mr. Rowley, and being as your head is shining brighter than your future right now, I would like you to answer this question to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Who are the real terrorists? Trinidad and Tobago has recorded 3,702 murders between 2018 and 2024. and is still ongoing because of policies your PNM government put in place at the behest of a criminal organization such as the World Health Organization, led by a known terrorist, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who was being instructed by the terrorist organization of the Central Intelligence Agency, being funded by US aid for using US taxpayers' money and directed by the Bank of International Settlements, the OECD, the Inter-American Development Bank, as well as the criminal Democrat Biden administration led by Joe Biden and other terrorists. Who are the real terrorists? Furthermore, you, under your administration, implemented biological weapons in violation of UN Security Resolution 1373. And the most egregious of all is that on paragraph 4, it says, I quote, with concern the close connection between international terrorism and transnational organized crime, illicit drugs, money laundering, illegal arms trafficking, and illegal movement of nuclear, chemical, biological, and other potentially deadly materials, and in this regard emphasizes the need to enhance coordination of efforts on national, sub-regional, regional, international levels in order to strengthen a global response to this serious challenge and threat to international security. What have you done? You have violated that UN Security Resolution by allowing armed gangs to operate in Trinidad with full knowledge of your government. In addition, you are in violation of 18 US Code 175, the prohibition of biological weapons, which states, whomsoever knowingly develops, produces, stockpiles, transfers, acquires, retains, or possesses any biological agent or delivery system for use as a weapon, or knowingly assists a foreign state or any organization to do so, or attempts, threatens, or conspires to do the same, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for life or any term of years or both. Mr. Rowley, you and the PNM will be brought to justice via the Caribbean COVID Crimes Criminal Justice Tribunal. You are nothing more than a corrupt terrorist organizer, and you are a corrupt political leader whom the rest of the corrupt Caribbean leaders have now sought to pay tribute to, simply because you are now covering your dirty little backside, trying to run away from the justice that is coming. The people of the Caribbean will hold you accountable, and you will be tried, you will be convicted, and you will be executed for the crimes against humanity. Have a good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, now mind me. My responsibility, I don't know if I'll catch the words after the show is over. Pull it back, listen to it. Matter of fact, I will put it up on the page. You listen to that, right? Now, my responsibility is to bring you to reality. All the good news, UNC brought it to us. All the bad news, the UNC brought it to us. The UNC had and the coalition have been transparent since election. I want to ask you all, am I speaking right? Is it that we have information that we have never heard before, we have never seen before? We hear conversation about corruption over the years. This time, we actually have ministers reading out of papers, passing on documents, explaining to you they're working off of the advice of the Attorney General. This is what we have been receiving since April 28th going forward. Yes, me lying to tell you because I am not here to play nobody games. The thing is a little slow because nobody was expecting by now we would have still be in the middle of our CPEP conversation. Nobody was expecting us to be in the middle of still waiting for boards. Nobody was expecting. If there's one thing I'm glad is that you see these tanks behind me here, that the government of Trinidad and Tobago spoke about it on the way to the polls, and the government of Trinidad and Tobago, after coming from the polls, after winning the election, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation continue, the actions have begun. The fact is that we needed our oil reserve, our oil industry, we needed that. That is what helps us with our U.S. structure. The U.S. in this country spreads across every market, every sector, whether it's grocery, furnitures, bringing in materials, fruits, vegetables, food. US spreads across the board. Listen to the conversation where we at. The former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago comes out explaining to us that basically he need answers from Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. He need answers from the Commissioner of Police. My responsibility is to remind the Prime Minister, because he sat down twice as Prime Minister, but he did not utilize the structure of a Prime Minister the right way. Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. former Prime Minister, Sir, Mr. Rowley, our Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, she have her own office. She have her own team. And the Commissioner of Police, he have his own office. He have his own team. That is how the thing is being run right now. When you was in office, you could have go back by the president and take back a merit list. This is not where we are right now, sir. So since the last time you have been Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago, we the people have evolved with our governing authority. We evolved with our Prime Minister. We evolved with the UNC and the coalition. So just in case that you don't know, because while you was doing it, you was being told that was corrupt action. Matter of fact, we lost our president because of corruption. Because of a merit list conversation, a president just disappeared poof, before we eyes. That is not where we are right now, sir. Trinbagonian citizens, the amount of time that man, that one man, the former Prime Minister, have lied to the people. And they lied laughing and drinking. They lied laughing at the people, knowing fully well they were digging out our eyes before the fridge door closed. I'm telling all you, Petrotrin is not going to close before the fridge door closed. While they put... Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix. Freeport here.
Bless afternoon, Freeport. How you doing? How you doing?
I okay, boy. I okay. I was just away from you for a couple days.
Yes, man.
I was busy. But here what's going on.
Talk to me.
I want to tell Keith Christopher Rowley, he don't have to ask Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar what wrong he did. He could answer all the questions he wants for himself.
Yes.
And he don't have to ask the Prime Minister, nor the police commissioner, nor the Attorney General. No question. He out of place. He fast.
Fast.
Because my Prime Minister give everybody a duty to perform.
Thank you.
And they performing it well.
Thank you.
So he could go to hell for my part. Because in his days, nobody couldn't come out and talk like how our ministers and MPs and everybody talking. That could never happen.
Talk now.
So this man make an allegation that Interpol intercept him or search him or something, question him. And the police commissioner say they never ever make a report.
No, listen.
So where he get it from?
That was just run the audio there. So Trinidad and Tobago could hear in the future when he do end up on Interpols, because you don't call them thing on yourself. When he do end up there, it's because of the audio that I just run.
Well, he know what he expecting, so he taking in front.
Thank you. He just trying to blame somebody for his shortcomings and his poor representation when he was the Prime Minister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that meeting I went in Sunday, boy. If you see big people, some of them almost break down in tears. That this PNM, that they was PNM supporters,
yeah.
And PNM treat them very, very bad.
Yeah.
And the team now want to talk. What they want to talk, as you're saying, the information that coming out now, all the allegations, they blame. Never had nothing on paper.
Yeah.
and that coming out now. So you could see the difference between the two
Thank you.
organizations.
Thank you. Thank you.
One is truth and one is false.
Thank
So
you.
it's the people of this country now to see who on the right track and assist them, clear the road for it to go further.
Yes, man.
And those study what those PNM saying, because all they're trying to do is to disrupt this country. That's all they want to do.
Distract.
Right?
Distraction.
So I hope that everything go good and everybody follow the government and give them some time.
Yeah.
Because all you give PNM 10 years and all you never ask a question.
Boy, we government work clearance. We government work clearance to do the work. That is what we government
you must get clearance.
Yeah, they need clearance.
Yes. And they need time. They need time to put proper legislation in place.
Yes.
So everybody could get whatever they want. I was by my MP office yesterday. They say after the budget, things will start to happen.
Yes.
So we have to give them time. We have to give them time.
Yes.
So you take care.
Report, thank you much. Thank you much, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a nice day.
Yes. Trinidad and Tobago, I need to hear from all, you know. The world is actually listening. So I need all the number on the screen there. I need a letter calling because we have to clarify all they actually going and let the former Prime Minister weasel into all your minds with this foolishness with Interpol. When the former Prime Minister have questions to answer himself, Faris served under him, you know. Faris served under him. They have questions to answer. So the question is, are you going to take the former Prime Minister's word over our new Commissioner of Police? And I need to hear from Trinidad and Tobago how our mindset is set. The Commissioner of Police has nothing to do with politics. He's just here to represent the people. It so happened that we have a good government in place that could give us a Commissioner of Police without political interference, and we have to thank them for that. We must thank them for that, ladies and gentlemen. But only we need to clarify, is it that we accept in this conversation while the former administration continue to weasel behind doors, continue to play peep-out game? 1 minute they here, the next minute they there. What is the thing now? Is it that Faris gone where Rowley was? Because he was just missing. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Bless afternoon, bless afternoon.
Yeah, this is Irvin.
Yes, this is the Real Talk Show. You're live on air right now.
Irvin, I just want to find out with Rowley and this accusation thing that you're talking about.
The Interpol thing?
If you could get in trouble for that, for calling up them people named the Interpol.
Well, this is what we're saying, and what's miss? Thank you for asking the questions. While you ask the questions,
right, and secondly, as Faris Alwari have to give account for that scam that he did there, and he had to call a press conference according to Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts said that how we like to call press conference. He have to call a press conference if he's not guilty to clear his name.
Thank you.
Because he'll put this man, this nice, quiet African man, in real trouble. And another thing is, and how the guy, I forget his name, the guy who said what Faris, how he pressured him and whatnot and things.
Right, that is CEO.
This man, yes, the CEO, just scared if Faris Alwari could do him something for exposing. I mean, this is real serious thing, you know. This is money keeping, you know. 1.something billion.
Yes. Yes.
We had to lift up the CEO in prayer, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I listen to you what you say. God is in control.
Yeah.
And you know the Bible said we will heap coals of fire on our enemies' head.
Yes.
And he will bring our enemies at peace with us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I have to see shackles in Faris Alwari, where you see this dress up and he just puff up for the public, and when the public crying out to him, he walking away from them. Now that have to stop and call him in birth and Marvelous Marvin. And he don't even deserve to call Marvelous Marvin. Right?
He lost that.
He's an empty vessel making so much noise. And this opposition leader, where is the opposition leader? Where is Mr. Colpot? Where is Karim Hussein? War, war, war. It will be war, war, war. All of them screaming and shouting just like Rowley. Where is all of them? And then the CPEP people, the CPEP workers and all of them blaming this government. Now that the CEO has brought out the facts. And you can tell the man, man kind of frightened, but the man had to talk out.
Yeah, you have to talk.
He can't go down like that. And Faris Alwari could walk bold and brave.
Thank you.
Showing the public he's not to blame for anything. This is wrong.
Come on.
That is our program. I find it edifying and uplifting.
Thank you. Thank you much, sister.
All right.
Thank you much for your contribution.
Okay.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. And ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago, this is what we're doing. This is what we're utilizing the program for. You have to call in and let the nation hear. Those are people listening on the outside, people on the outside, all the calling. Then we have the conversation. Is this acceptable? Again, as the sister say, the man really get that information with fear on his face. But look at it. The writing is the writing. I sure you probably have a wife, he has somebody to answer to. And you going and take that corruption conversation to the grave? No. It's time that this foolishness stop. Today we're sitting with the UNC and the coalition government that explaining that their responsibility is to work on behalf of citizens. It's time the resources of Trinidad and Tobago be spent on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If Miss Kamala say that and they tell her she racial, well then okay, then let she be racial. I'm taking that. I rather my money spent in my country than it's spent in CARICOM with drinks and lime. I rather that. I rather my people, my African brothers and sisters, those who already have business, I rather them continue to live and not live in fear that the business will close down. I rather that. If we have to bring in all the India Prime Minister, I don't know my Prime Minister because he's one India, but if we have to bring in people who representing all over the world to inspire the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because we African brothers and sisters was leaders and they refused to do it, bring it and inspire the people. I rather that than sit down and continue to be dormant with my hands in the air and wonder what's going on while our children becoming adults in front of us and the same straight cutlass you was using, you just hand it down to your daughter. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Hello, blessed afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm a first-time contributor. Just want to answer the question that you asked before. You said, why would anybody believe Keith Christopher Rowley?
Yeah, in front of the commissioner.
I would like to, right. So I would like to throw that question back to you. Why would anybody believe Kamla Prasad Bisesa?
In front of?
And I'm saying,
hold on.
I'm saying this with all due respect.
Complete the question. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying this with all due respect because of the records. I look at the records. I want us to match the record of Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley with the record of Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
Where's your question?
And see if there's...
Hold on. Ask me the question and let me answer it and then you go ahead now. Where's your question?
Okay, so my question is that in light of what you asked concerning who would believe Dr. Christopher Rowley, my question is that what evidence do you have, concrete evidence to prove that Dr. Christopher Rowley record, is less than Kamla Prasad Bisesa record?
Caller, stay right there. I think you're gonna come up with a better question than that. But here is what I could have to say concerning that. I could say this based on being a Trinbagonian citizen. Now, my responsibility, I had to speak about my experience in this country. And what it is I could tell you, right? Under Keith Christopher, hold on, under Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa, you see African brothers and sisters like me, even we Indian brothers and sisters, even those who looking like Syrian and Chinese, it was no problem for us to carry home a salary. It was no problem for us to open small businesses. It was no problem for us to be a part of Trinidad and Tobago. Under Mr. Keith Christopher Rowley, caller, I make a day work good in the past 10 years. And this is the average person.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So I understand. I really don't want to invoke, the racial element in it really, because I'm a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago also.
Right.
But I'm looking at the broader and bigger picture. Listen, politician will always be politician. There will be those.
Hold on. Here where you wouldn't do to me. Here where you wouldn't do to me. If you're looking at the broader picture, you need to explain the picture that we're talking about. You can't divert into all right.
So the broader picture that I'm talking about is that when I look at the track record of the two prime minister, there's absolutely no comparison in my own view, of them. And by that I mean, when I look at Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley record, he was a man that put country first. He did things that would benefit the whole country.
Again, here where you wouldn't do. You wouldn't call me and tell me that he put country first. You need to produce conversation. I could tell you, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa produce country first when you're talking about education. The last stance of wanting the people of Trinidad and Tobago to be educated. The last person who stood up for that was Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Then we skipped 10 years, and now we back into that. So I could tell you, based on education and wanting the population to be educated, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa is that. You can't tell me that he's an upstanding person and then don't explain to me why you're saying that. Explain to me why. What did he do? Oil and gas up, crime was down, infrastructure was up. You need to explain to us so we would know where you're coming from.
You will see, this is the same Kamala Prasad Bisesa that couldn't give account, for her wealth, for her house. This is the same Kamala Prasad Bisesa that we're talking about.
Caller, again. This is real talk here, where we have real conversation. So listen to me. Ain't nobody with basic common sense anywhere in the world could get anybody to believe an active person who hold on. Because before Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa became prime minister, she have a history. So then we are telling me everything that she participated in before, she was not paid. She only started to get a salary when she became prime minister. If it's that, well, then your conversation holding merit, But if Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa have been active, hold on prominent positions throughout her career, well, then you cannot get me to believe or be a part of a conversation thinking that Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa couldn't build a house or didn't have money in the bank. Even her husband was a doctor. Is a doctor. So the merit of the conversation is where you have to fix with me. You ain't gonna get away with me with that. Come again, caller. I'm listening to you.
But that is all I have for now.
All right.
That's all I have.
Call me back when you're ready. Thank you much.
All right. Thank you.
Bless, good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon. Bless, brother Felix.
How you doing?
And to all the listeners. Now we up and running. And you see the kind of dotishness and the kind of PNM dilapidated and lack of rate, kind of stupid education system. Because here's what's going on. Brother Felix.
Yes, man.
I don't normally do this. But I apologize to your 700 people who listen to you.
Yes, man.
Right?
Yes, man.
This is real talk. And I will like the permission. And if you see it fit, cut me out anytime. Okay. Right? Because here's what's going on. I will try to keep my calm and cool on my posture.
Right.
You see that caller? He come on this airway to take up the airtime.
Yeah.
Because we know we press a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? And I quote him, he lovely bald head, right? Career prime minister, right? He jackassing his scene on his show. right? So tell him, choose the words wisely because you not in he bedroom and he hall and on his phone.
Yes.
Choose the words wisely because you can't tell me, right, that a prime minister who boasts that the word black belongs to the PNM and the black diaspora belong to the PNM, and you love your black people, and you take care of your black people. Where the hell in hell you telling me Satan lies? That look now until they still using our house.
Yes.
You telling and look they still vote back for you. You call out, you tell me that when a man buy a house in Chinese Gate, right, for $1.something million, get a discount, then disclose it on the integrity form and squeeze it in on a same line. That is misbehavior in public office. You telling me I want to study topic. When you take a multi-billion-dollar business, right, and you close it down to go and make a deal in Proman office and in Repsol office in Denmark, and come back here and say all we get it is you still have to wait to call for 2028 to benefit, you know. And I want to know now, it was so racial because the PNM set it up in a way that anything you say and you reply them is racial. The Indian people, after the Indian laborers, do you know that the African people in Moruga was squeezed out and Dr. Eric William pulled them and gave them dread, do my duty, take away the land. And in Port of Spain, it had business African men, right?
Yes.
And Rowley followed the same method. After 10 years, how much African worker brothers and sisters uplift and have their own house? In the whole of Silot, who vote for them on the Port Authority land? You get any need of comfort?
True.
And you say, is my prime minister, boy, when they come rock down, woman, leave she alone.
Please.
Because Rowley want to put everything on Sheila, but you stay away from she. Because here what's going on. Don't feel as I done out here. And furthermore, when they set a school, all they pay $70 billion in a ministry for the African children. And then all they coming out, all the ministers who are elected say that the PNM children getting on that way. And it's because of the terrors. Where is the support? Where is the empowerment? All they lose the thing and don't come and brace for him. If he's talking about Interpol and crying for sympathy, tell him to call Interpol and make it public and go to the court and jail my prime minister. Because if my honorable prime minister stink up his name, I want he to take it to court and I will defend Kid Rowley in the court and I will give them money to fight the case. But here what's going on. Don't come out here and take up the airtime. Because in CPEP, $1.4 billion, $3 billion missing. Then in the Ministry of Finance, $3 billion unaccounted for. Then in NGC, money missing. Only put $5 billion on NGC book. And one more before I go. This one on TNTech. I don't run up a bill of $5 billion for NGC. Who paying it? And your prime minister good? But he's a big thief, boy. Have a nice day.
Thank you much. Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. And it's that. And my advice to the to our UNC supporters. Right. Let we have the conversation. Let we show them publicly. We support them the administration. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Mr. Irvin.
Yes,
sorry to cut you off. One correction there. I have a friend living down by Anti-Camps down there in Philippines.
Yes.
And I used to go there in the early 90s. And my friend not living far from her. And I always ask my friend, I say, girl, who house is that building there? And it always look like it's finished. She said, that's Kamala house.
Hold on.
That's Kamala house.
You're now run. Hold on. Sorry for stop here. You said the early 90s.
Yeah, in the early 90s. Right. I used to go by my friend Michelle, 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95. And Auntie Camps was building she house, and she house was partially finished.
Thank you.
And that caller remember that Carla was always a lawyer before she came into politics.
Thank you.
Her husband is a doctor.
Thank you.
Right? So he needs to get his facts straight. Now that Auntie Camps, God prosper her.
Yes.
She became prime minister. She was opposition leader and so forth and so forth. That she finished her house and she living happy in her house. That lady see trouble before the house complete. And them want to point fingers at the woman and say the woman thief and the woman thief and the woman this. Other caller. Do you know what is sacrifice?
I don't.
Mr. Irvin, you know what is sacrifice because I am sure that you have a family and you have to sacrifice every day for your family to make them happy.
You have to. You have to.
Right? And that caller is totally wrong and you need to get the facts straight. And Kamala been many schools. I pass a school every day to go to work and I see that school is unfinished, which is in reform. If you see Bush growing up in that school and 99% of that school done and Rowley leave that just so.
Wickedness.
He leave that school just so to spite the children.
Yeah.
You living down Penal side, Mr. Irvin. There's schools down in Penal that Kamala started.
Yeah.
The pretty school them and the school them left undone.
Yeah.
Then the university in South.
Thank you.
That was growing up in Bush.
Thank you.
That caller bringing false doctrine. And he need to check up on himself and you see, one last thing. And the preacher man who they be sitting on the fat guy.
The line one.
Yes. He can never call himself preacher. The Bible says Satan is the father of all lies and all liars shall have their part in it. He come here and he compromise and you do not compromise. You give wrong and you give right.
Thank you. Thank you. Kola, thank you for your contribution. Thank you much. Trinidad and Tobago, that is what we're saying. That is what we're talking about. It is as real as that. Our responsibility. That caller probably didn't talk to nobody in here, man. You can't call over Felix to ask a question, man. You come back to you're crazy, man. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day again, Felix.
What good up, big brother?
When the father made the contribution, I thought he like going to policies where Mr. Rowley had put forward, to enhance the right. But you really think Dr. Rowley gave the people of this country means test?
Nah, don't lie. We get four brother, but I am. We get some yam.
Well, the yam and the ground, we didn't repeat yet. Every time I want to get something for your underprivileged, it means test for you.
Yeah.
You know, they had, what if the answer this was, they had 20,000 people went and applied, right, for grants, for school grants. And you know, Dolly never get them it. It languishing since last year to now.
True.
And this minister who education who here now, he's the one that give away 20,000 grants.
Thank you.
Because they made people do means tests for that. When it was given all the little laptops and little devices, means tests for that too. Right? Every child had to come up with some means tests. When they're going for a disability grant, when they're going for a food card, means test for your backside too. You can't have a fridge in your house, you can't have nothing in your place. That's the policies by them. And Minister Cox, she dropped the ceiling, right? So that if you're collecting $1,500, she dropped it to $1,499. So once you go over $1,499, you can't get no grants to collect any appliance or anything like that. She do that.
Wicked.
Tell me if that is good governance. Tell me if that is good governance on the privileged person. You answer that, Mr. Man who called us nowadays. If black people and underprivileged people are benefiting from the government for that. And also the Children Life Fund. Look at the mischief they're doing that. They let over 80 children pass away from that, and then Emery Brown will come and say, well, he know that, students children notice that I didn't give them nothing. So they gamble with people's children life. That is what they do, right? I would never forget what they do in the miracle. I would wait till the child dead and then give you money for that. That is a wicked evil thing they do. And they should have paid for that.
Thank you much, caller. Caller, you got a call back. We call drop same time answer. Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I must say thank you very much. I see we really in the 700s. Thank you very much. Live fun. I see somebody probably live fun too. What we're dealing with here is actually facts. And to the caller who called and tried to tell me about Rowley and Rowley with good man and good representation, caller, that is a blatant lie from the pits of hell. You can't even get Rowley's own family to mention that what you saying. Anybody who's saying that is because normally they're getting a phone card or they're getting a hamper coming behind that. Bless good afternoon, big brother.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Felix.
Bless afternoon.
Give me a couple minutes. Let me talk to that fella who came to Trinidad with the yam seed now.
Shoot your blood. Shoot your blood.
Mister, if you're hearing me, hear what happened. Miss Kamla Prasad Bisesa, in her first term, she had a children life fund.
Thank you.
Rowley get rid of that. She built a spanking new children hospital close by me. If I walk, I could reach there.
Thank you.
Rowley refused to open that. She take her office space that money was building in San Fernando for car park and office and convert it to the teaching hospital. They are saying run it down, that a lot of the walkway and passageway blank off with caution tape. So, mister, if you don't know what you're saying, don't waste your time. And all the houses and the school, Miss Kamla Prasad left unfinished. Rowley leave it unfinished. PNM leave the Scarborough Hospital unfinished. Miss Kamla Prasad finished that. Where you was living all the time, mister? Nothing. Rowley tried to do a piece of work in the Port of Spain Hospital, a new wing. He didn't complete it, but he wanted to get his name on it. That's what Rowley do. The Tobago Hospital was the same thing. And what they did best is the thief. Just imagine the Attorney General point out 3 people in Parliament and tell them, I come in for you. Rowley have a problem with that, mister.
Yes.
So you try and get all your facts now. All you want to make Kamla Prasad look bad. Look, it had 3 months there. Kamla Prasad Bisesa in office. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa left office, there was drilling over 100,000 barrels.
Yeah.
Rowley bring it down to 56,000. Less than 3 months, the UNC stepped it back up by 6,000 barrels.
Yes.
You didn't hear that, mister?
Yes, man.
And a few days after UNC get into power, they find 3 new gas wells and they're expecting more. Where you was? Or you just come, or what happened? Somebody pull you out from the oat as a yam seed? When you come in here,
come good.
Make sure Mr. Freeport not listening.
Yes.
Okay?
That'll come here.
PNM closed down Caroni Greens.
Yeah.
Nobody come out and protest for those people who was producing food.
Yes.
He closed down Petrotrain because of his friend was in corruption. Miss Kamla Prasad left his friend in front of the court. He said he cannot continue with that case because this man did a lot that good for the country. What good he did, you cannot say. So, mister, be careful. Be careful, mister. Be careful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
We had 4 people stuck in a pipeline. They didn't care about that, mister. They didn't care about that.
For real.
And I asked the question, if the refinery wasn't refining oil, what was the big rush to repair that pipeline?
Thank you.
Did you store oil for somebody else unknowing to the taxpayers? So, I'll give somebody a chance.
Thank you much.
Because I'm sure that fella getting a headache.
Thank you much for that contribution, big brother. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Blessed afternoon. You hearing us?
Is this the show?
Yes,
Felix,
you're
Mr.
on.
Felix?
You're on live at 648 Real Talk.
Right. So what I want to say is that this government is the most transparent government we have ever seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago, if they are getting all this information in their face and they are still backing PNM, is because they all are criminals,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because we have never get a government that is so transparent,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And, 10 years or 9 years and something PNM in government. And nobody, and never hear anybody coming out and ask questions to Rowley and his entourage. But now, UNC in power, they are asking all kind of foolish questions. We need to give the government some time to do what they have to do. And if they understand that when a government go into office, they have to do their audit and they have to do everything before they administer their responsibility in the effective way they are ought to do.
Thank you.
So we need to give the government time.
Yes. Thank you much for that contribution, caller. Thank you much. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Don't let the conversation come out in mind. The question is when the PNM keeping a press conference? That is what we want to know. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Bless good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Bless afternoon. Talk to you.
Second time I get through on your program.
Yes, man.
Well, I sit down here and I damage a little crow there, and I enjoy myself.
Yes, man.
The man come and upset my lunch bite.
That the man who called him just now there.
That's.
Only I apologize. I apologize, but all you know we not entertaining stupidness. If they come in, they really have to come good.
No, if he did come and say, well, the policies that the Honorable Dr. Rowley they put on was he built a plyboard factory. You understand? He give the people and them the 100 million to
yes, man.
For the hotspot areas and them.
Yes, man.
And he raised the pension for the
man.
The elderly.
Cover that.
And and he give the workers and them a 47%, and he take 4%.
He take 4, the workers get the 47.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
He let all the Trinidadians and them buy a Casabon painting.
Yeah.
You understand?
Don't leave
everybody have a Casabon painting in their house.
Don't leave out this
and
one.
all he do.
Don't leave out this one. And when people did say jump over Indian people fence and run up in the house and take the thing, he addressed that too. He talked about that and he said that was wrong.
Yeah, you see, these fellas and them, I don't know who educate them, If anybody, everything all right, Felix?
I'm listening. I was just on the next line ringing. Go ahead.
Okay. All I'm saying is that if this guy took the time to recognize that what he's trying to perpetrate there, I don't know if he's being paid for it, but Marvin Gonzalez said that he going to put a propagandist in every nook and cranny, and he's going to run them out of social media. I wonder if he's one of them, right?
I think he's one of them. That's why I had to stop him.
We had to what? Tell him for me, please. The next time he call,
Yeah.
try not to call when man eating the coconut.
For real.
Right?
Yes, caller.
Wait until probably after 2 and thing when it program almost when it program on the end.
Yeah.
He could come and do that kind of foolishness, so we could get rid of him quick.
No, I can't make him do it there because if they do it, I have to fix it. I don't want people to leave with the perception or under the impression that the former administration work to support the country. That is not the truth. That is a lie that they sold and they use the media.
That comes straight from the pits of hell.
Yeah.
I was telling some fellas on them the other day. You know, we that blame the devil for a lot of things, but you know, it's the PNM who train the devil to be the devil.
Thank you. But just the other day, telling somebody, I say, but let me tell you something. God forbid if that man pass away today. If he pass away today, Satan lost he walking. So that's why them have to live long. Them have here long to live. If he dead today, Satan lost he walking.
Yeah. I give up, you know. I give up. Thank God that he fought. Yeah, have a blessed one.
Thank you much for your contribution too. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. How are you?
Are you okay? And yourself?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. This big brother from Malabar here.
Malabar, big up yourself, man.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Remember when you're growing up, long time, what I tell you? When you leave a house on fire, wet yours?
Wet yours, yes.
Right? So at the end of the day, all this thing are the only and then I'm through. All these things is distraction.
Yes.
It's distraction, but them things go work. Right now, them things work long time, them things are never work. But them things are never cooking right now.
Yes.
You understand? So don't want what is going on in the place. You understand? At the end of the day, I just set up this corruption thing. I just get fed up and doing this and doing that. And, you know, I just kind of get response under that. And I feel we are supposed to pay people not to set our mind. Let me focus on moving the country forward.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because they're not going on. Them will get distracted with all this amount of bacchanal.
Yes.
You understand? But let me stay focused, back anti-camera, and let me make sure everything will go good. You understand?
Yes.
You know, my contribution is short, not long. At the end of the day, I on the fence and I sit down and I'm watching and I will turn on the call. Don't forget now the thing where you tell me about self-intention.
Yeah, man.
Tuesday coming is not so good. I'm not worried about it.
Yes,
I'm not worried. Yeah.
Thank you much, caller.
And
thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, with the caller saying it's so true. So my responsibility is to remind you, please stay focused on the Prime Minister's page. Understand, Mr. John Jeremy Page? Stay focused on your member of parliament. You don't hesitate. Go up on your local government page, your local government minister. No matter where you live in Trinidad and Tobago, Khadija, I mean, you need her information. No matter where you live in, you have family who are looking for housing. So you have no reason to miss Douglas politics when the morning reach. The ground report is right there having the conversation at the same time. We still are breaking down. Come on now, man. So if you stay close to your members of parliament page, you stay close to your prime minister's page, you stay close to your councillor's page. I mean, telling you, all you know what logo you're supporting, you all know what we're representing. We're not supporting promises never materialize. We're not on that anymore. So our responsibility is to hold on to the facts and hold on to the truth. And those of you who still claim that all your supporting promises never materialize, the day will come when all you will have to understand that all you had to start to think about all your own family. You need to start to think about your own community. Trinidad and Tobago, the time has come for us to understand. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Bless, Brother Felix, and bless to all the listeners.
Yes, man.
And all the Trinidad and Tobago people.
Yes.
We love each other. We will hold hand in hand and move together. But here what's going on? Brother Felix, Faris is missing. He probably gone back to Israel to meet the prophet, the descendant. But before, I want to know now if the opposition leader and Faris and then having the press conference on time every Tuesday go on.
Well, this is what I said.
Faris, come out. Yeah? Faris, where are you? But, you know, so Faris,
Your mother in Sando, because what actually where you there? Where you hiding? You want me? You got to fix up the apartment and then for the $3 million in your pocket. Let me hear now. Come now, boy. Faris, come keep a press for early o'clock. Get in people's face. Tell them how my government bad. We give it instruction. Right? So we want to know if that is allowed by the country.
Yes.
Now, Felix, what I will say, right? I want to ask a good friend, which part of the 10 years in there, Rowley, Castidori, and Camille Robinson Regis ever come to the people in their villages, right? And ask them that here what's going on. You living here, I going to present a national budget. I want to hear what you have to say. That if the police station is fixing, if the school will repair, if you want a community center to do processing and do work, you come and tell me. You know the PNM over the years, you know, it is tell the Black African brothers and sisters, we have to find a way for it to trickle down to you. And if that is the problem, we don't know how to get to you. Yeah. Which part in the PNM history again? Faris run away with money and trying to get away. No, my political leader and finance minister coming out to you. You don't have to go to them, you know, and they're sitting on no couch. And you want to come and know they have selected you. You can come and tell them if your pension want to increase or what disturbing you. So the trickle down can reach to you. Yeah. So have a blessed evening. Is that more callers? Well, come and ask where Faris is. Where is Faris?
Thank you.
Good evening. Bless.
Trinidad and Tobago, let us leave it up to me alone. We need to find out where Faris is. The fact remains is that there is a structure in place in Trinidad and Tobago, and you cannot reach into the $1 billion conversation. You reach into $100 million conversation and did not go before the parliament, did not go before to explain to the people at Trinidad and Tobago what we're doing with this. No, we need to find out where Faris gone and what day they will be holding this press conference. This is not a political game. This is no plain thing we're going on here, you know. Yes, we supporting the USC. Yes, we supporting the coalition. Yes, Mr. Ernesto Raymond Kiza is my member of parliament. Yes, that's my minister. Yes, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessa is my prime minister, but at the end of the day, I am a trained Begonian citizen, and this conversation is concerning Trinidadians. What's my 648 family and need? We have to call, we have to find out, where is this man? Where is this man? Bless, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Everything is good. I just had a little thought came up in me, and this is my personal thing on the case. It is that the people, the PNN on the whole, will allow your education to a certain level. So they will keep you there, and they will not allow you to expand in your life.
Yeah.
But what they will do, you are just a voter bank to them.
Yes.
And they will give you a few cards and suffer you 6 months and call you back and be your next one again.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You already, your own people enslave you again, man.
Yes.
We passed that stage.
Yeah.
We have a country to run. We can't take that anymore. And I think the people of Trinidad and Tobago should not take that anymore.
True. True.
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you much for your contribution, caller. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains, billions of dollars when it comes to the CPEP structure. To start with, they give you a fake prime minister who wasn't even minding the business. So he knew he was fake and he didn't even do the job right. So you could even consider to say, well, all right, buddy. Bless, good afternoon, brother.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Yes, man.
I'm going to be quick because I'm watching it time. Mr. Felix, just like the CPEP workers come out to find out why they say this government take away the contracts and investigating.
Yeah.
CPEP worker, why are they not coming out and demanding for Faris to come out to answer this question?
Thank you. I can't.
You can start.
This is where they're not understanding the no caller. They come and they demand our government. So no, we can demand all that to bring out Faris, all that to bring out Faris. Go ahead, caller.
At the day, Mr. Felix, sorry, Mr. Felix, at the end of the day, Mr. Felix, the whole what was happening to the was CPEP, and they was fighting. PNM was fighting the CPEP. So where he is now, CPEP workers come out, go stand up in front of the Red House.
Yes.
And he come out now. Let me hear. All right, Mr. Felix, look on this then.
Lockdown, yes. Thank you much. So, caller them do have to go in front of the Red House. They have to go in front of Balize House. That ain't too far. It's Balize House that have to go in front of, and the man answers, where is Faris? Why you all try to manipulate us? Or they try to extend contracts without authorization. Or they didn't even ask for a pay for the rake man. Or they ask for a pay increase for the cutter man. Or they ask for a pay increase for the barrow. No increase for the workers. It's just the contractor and back up the road. And in the middle of that is all kind of ghost gang we're dealing with. So the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we want to know where is Faris Alwari and when this press conference is being held. Could somebody from the PNM clarify for us? Where is the opposition leader? We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we waiting to go to work. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good day, brother Felix. How you doing?
Are you okay on yourself?
I'm not too bad, and to all the listeners. Brother Felix, answer me a question. How much money our budget normally does read off for a year?
We does normally be around 60 billion, wrong that day. A little over, wrong that day.
6 billion or 60?
60 billion.
All right.
Be a
Because
little under,
out of that 60,
however you win, but just be around it.
so 60 billion, and we have 1 point something going to CPEP missing, 2 point something in the financial coffers missing, and who else missing billions again?
But along the way, basically, if you look at the structure, obviously money missing in education. There was no repairs done on schools. Money missing on road infrastructure. Money missing all over the place, brother. 3/4 of the thing that they say they do. When you go out in the public domain, you're not seeing it. Partner, what's my first? I've been minding my business.
Yeah.
The last budget them read. They read part of the budget concerning parks, meaning like play parks and thing. Investigate that, you would notice that money missing there too. It's all of these people are a ball by.
Oh, gosh. I tell you. Why they first have to answer?
They have to.
It's billions, you know. It's billions, and you're getting a salary, and you're getting perks, and you're getting all that, and still you come and take billions from the people coffers.
Thank you. Billions.
This, we have to stop this nonsense as a people, and we have to start with this administration going forward, that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, would not sit down no longer and accept such wickedness to our people.
True.
That's the conversation going forward. And Faris, we waiting, we looking for you. We have we locked down all the borders, all the planes to Tobago.
Everything.
We check it. All the planes that them outside, we checking it. Faris, you have to dress up in all kind of garb to between, but we looking for you.
Thank you. We looking. Thank you much, caller. Yes, well. Ladies and gentlemen, all I feel because it's 2:30. After 2, sorry. I ain't running this Douglas politics at all. We have to run peace in this here today. Because all you know, we boy Anil don't play with them. All you know, we minister don't sell dreams to them. We minister direct to the point. That is why they will never, ever, ever like him. They will never support him. They will never say thing, but you have a responsibility. We don't need them to support him. We don't need them to tell me Miss Kamala good. We don't need them to tell me Mr. Kiza working on people's behalf. We don't need them to tell me Miss Khadija doing a good work. We know this. So we will give them the support. You're browsing through social media. You bounce up this use our main page, put the like. You don't need. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Yes, sir. I want to congratulate you, Mr. Felix, for being a very unbiased presenter.
Thank you very
That's
much.
all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you.
Caller, thank you very much. And this is what it is we like. This is what we like to hear. Again, this means people is paying attention because all you understand, this thing is about unity, it's about love, and it's about respect. This thing is about going forward and going forward the right way, going forward the positive way, going forward understanding that what's me, the Indian man is not my enemy. The African man is not your enemy. Them jokers and them who was in the former administration, listen what they do. Watch on the screen. Watch on the screen. Over $140 billion borrowed. Actually, it's $144 billion borrowed on the backs of the people at Trinidad and Tobago. We left to pay that. We left with the responsibility for that. Thank God we end up with a lazy government like them. We're making excuses and coming up with a set of shortcomings and fighting down people. Marvin Gonzalez, he feel we forget him with that conversation. He feel that whole conversation where it is he spoke about our East Indian brothers and sisters, about here looking like Bangladesh, so what? And here looking like India, so what? Marshal Montano went down to India and he was greeted with respect. And we East Indian brothers and sisters, they danced, they whined, they had a ball. So you with your racial self, Mr. Marvin, you wouldn't get the opportunity to participate and continue to spread propaganda in this country. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, sir. I just called to tell you that somebody making mischief. I send the video for you. They put up a old video and they're saying Felix Alexander resigned. So you go check it out and see.
Caller, thank you.
Wicked set of people. They're trying to disrupt.
They're trying to disrupt.
Take care.
Yes, man. Thank you much. If I tell you here, I on the man video and trying to play the video and not getting the damn video, you know. What kind of everything is this, boy? Hold on. Hold on. We have a responsibility to the people. This is why they have to play them mischief. This is why they have to play them games. You know why? They have to play them games because they can't deal with the Douglas. They can't deal with him. When he come to you, he come to you. Were you telling me, boy? Were you telling me? All are hitting this video over and over and the video ain't coming up, you know. Hold on, let me talk a little bit. We have to run piece of that Douglas politics. Aliyah. Just pull up, go up on Douglas Politics direct page if man pull it up there for me, please. I'm taking a shortcut and I ain't getting you. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let me explain something to you. That is why it's so important to run that piece of audio for you. These folks and them wouldn't continue to play us games. At the end of the day, they came out and them who boast about corruption. Right now, we're trying to sort out and set a structure. While we're discussing, I want to get to discussing more CPF, I want to get to discussing more URP, I want to discuss about heading off to work. We have to sit, we're still waiting on relevant information. I wonder if you're aware, ladies and gentlemen, the stand your ground law consultation is in place. Today. Thank you much. Sweetie ma. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get, we have to get.
Owned by the CEO of the CPEP company of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Keith Eddy. And I'm going to read it for you. This is a sworn affidavit, sworn and stamped in front of a commissioner of affidavits, Philip Mahabir. Now listen to this. And Faris Alwari, it's you we want to hear. We don't want to hear some man.
Documents is what we're dealing with. Only listen to the boss talk.
Who went and quit on the walk and went all over and saying people looking for he's seeing ghosts and all kind of things. It's you, Faris Alwari, where your press conference. Stuart Richard Young, you were the Prime Minister, the head of the cabinet. We need to hear from you. We need you to hold up a cabinet note and say, look it here. They had cabinet approval for $1.4 billion to renew contracts that did not even need renewal and to add contractors. You, Vishnu Danpal, the Minister of Finance of Kobo Sweat, you were the Minister of Finance. Did you talk to Alwari? Did you give him the approval? Do you know that you cannot give cabinet approval as a Minister of Finance? Only a Prime Minister can give approval and then go back to cabinet for covering approval. Did Stuart Richard Young do that? Or he'll get all his stories straight, make all his statement, because court is nice and jail is nice. The man say he going by the police, he going by the Integrity Commission, he going to the Commissioner of Police, he making report to the fraud squad. Let me read to you, Trinidad and Tobago, from a sworn affidavit of a man who's the CEO in charge of CPEP, Mr. Keith Eddy, General Manager and Chief Executive Officer of the CPEP company, right? And paragraph 3, I say that I was appointed in July 2016, and this is the first time that I've ever had to deal with a situation where the company was extending all of its contracts with contractors en masse in such a wholesale manner, regardless of whether the contract had expired or had substantial periods of time left to run until they expired. I was therefore of the clear opinion that prior cabinet approval was necessary for such a massive transaction, more so because the contracts were not simply going to be extended for 1 year, but rather up to a maximum of 3 years. Paragraph 4, I was particularly concerned to ensure that cabinet approval was granted because of an earlier incident which had occurred in May 2024. The man making a case to show audience not only that he understands, because his job, he was there from 2016 and he knows about cabinet approval and the process of expenditure of taxpayers' money, but there was an issue in this same PNM, with this same board, with this same government, with Faris Alwari as minister, with Keith Rowley as prime minister. He said there was an earlier incident that had occurred in May 2024. My contemporaneous WhatsApp messages, now this is where the man making sure that who
Trinidad and Tobago understand what is going on. Listen to the dates. The minister calling out, you reading from a document, coming from a testimony from somebody inside a CPEP. Listen to the conversation. May 2024. We had election April 28, 2025. Election was not in the air. And this is from a worker in CPEP explaining the type of games that the PNM was playing before. This is before election day. Before election day. UNC get the power, the coalition get the power after election, because they have the responsibility to put relevant boards in place. This is the information that coming out. We can't vex with Anil Roberts so that.
Want to lie, but he had WhatsApp, he had screenshot, he have records of conversations with Mr. Edwards, the chairman, shows that CPEP was being accused of increasing expenditure without consent, engaging in unjustified and uncontrolled expenditure. And the Central Audit Committee in the Ministry of Finance, this is under Colmember, you can give a statement too, had allegedly discovered and reported on major discrepancies. So this is showing, one, that before we reach here to 2025, everybody, all these players knew that in order to expend taxpayers' money, you needed approval, you need cabinet approval, you need authority. You cannot go wild. So anybody pretending or lying or trying to say, no, cabinet approval is not necessary, nonsensical. You, the population, have already seen from the current permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance that, of course, absolutely critically necessary is cabinet approval to expend this type of money. And the 22nd of May 2024, Keith Eddy says to Edwards, the PM has instructed a report on the differences between the Ministry of Finance and CPEC, Ministry of Rural Development and so on, over expenditure on CPEC within the week. So Rowley want to know about what happening, how are they spending money, why so he needs some money for some recusals from his cabinet ministers, and the Minister of Finance came back tell them about it. But it had no money there for all, and it had no money for Noel Garcia to do anything because Noel Garcia have one big bag boy coming out of the grocery, remember? And Rowley want to know, but who's spending money when he is the man to make sure that all the money spent through Noel Garcia? The allegations include that CPEC has increased its expenditure without consent. What does that mean? Without consent, without cabinet approval, without the pink piece of paper, the confirming it, that the expenditure is effectively unjustified and uncontrolled. On the 22nd of May, 2024, Joel Edwards, the then chairman, who now trying to make up all kinds of stories, and Joel Edwards and then looking good with the affidavit. This is from Minister Alwari asking Keith Eddy. Keith Eddy says, yes. I therefore indicated, says Eddy, as much to Mr. Edwards and informed him that I would not be willing to extend all contracts for a further 3 years without prior cabinet approval.
Listen.
I also informed Mr. Edwards that Minister Alwari's right-hand man, who was a change manager at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Mr. Sadiq Hussain, who is that, had attempted to engage me before on this very issue, and I did not entertain any discussion with him. On March 21st, 2025, Mr. Hussain sent me a WhatsApp message which read as follows. Man, put and stamp all the WhatsApp messages there, a true copies put within this affidavit here. Further to our conversation today, we would like to renew all contractors for a period of 3 years. Sadiq Hussain, who is you, the minister? You the prime minister? You the cabinet? If that were to change, can we hire an additional 12 contractors? He gone back to cabinet note to say the maximum and so on. I informed the chairman that I had not replied and reiterated my position that under no circumstances would I be willing to proceed to renew all contracts in the absence of cabinet approval, and that I would not be intimidated, pressured, nor bullied into doing so. I indicated this to him because I felt as if I was being pressured into extending the contracts without cabinet approval, despite my express view that this was necessary in the circumstances. Once cabinet approval was granted, I would have no difficulty in implementing the decision of the cabinet. At paragraph 7, I was of this opinion because CPEP is wholly owned by government, and it would be obviously be unethical, if not illegal. And I think you better focus on that, Eddie, for CPEP to commit the government to expenditure in the vicinity of $1.4 billion without any form of prior consultation and approval. It would obviously be...
Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. Afternoon, Felix. Hello?
Yeah, hearing you loud and clear. You're on 6-5 television.
Yeah. Felix, I'm engaging in something here. If a man working for $5,000 a month and he can't survive, why we should be paying people $120,000 a month from the man we're working $5,000 a month?
True.
Could a man in Trinidad live comfortably with $20,000 or $30,000 a month?
One man?
Yeah, one man. Or his family, maybe he and his family. Let me say now. Let me say one man have the expenses. If he could live comfortably on $20,000 or $30,000 a month, or if he need $120,000 and $150,000 a month to live.
Well, it's, I guess you're coming from is basically is your lifestyle. But one man who don't have no responsibility and all them things, he ain't pay no mortgage, 20,000 could tote you out.
20,000 could tote you out, right?
Yeah.
We are a government who have problem with a man working for a month, right? Because if you go to apply for HBC housing, they want to know your means.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because they want to know if you could afford to pay for the house.
Yeah, but if they was utilizing that structure, if they was utilizing that structure to give people houses, that would have been different. But everybody know that is not the structure that they was using.
Exactly, right? So the PNM has been doing this to the people at Trinidad. They weaponize. They weaponize Tobago. Since OE01, when Pete Rowley come in with the, we go make the rich richer so the poor go get jobs.
You ramp it up more.
You understand?
Yeah.
He make the rich richer, but the poor poorer.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So he keep you in a modern day slavery syndrome where you're only working to buy something to eat, to travel, to go back to work, to do the same thing the next day.
Again.
And you can't save $1 and you can't see about your family.
You open my business.
While on the other hand, he found it justifiable that the taxpayers' money at Trinidad and Tobago, the revenue that comes into Trinidad and Tobago from all the patrimony at Trinidad and the gas, the oil, the manufacturing, everything, he found it was justifiable to pay himself 47% increase and walk out the door. You understand? I say cut everybody's salary down to $20,000 and $30,000 a month for a high-end worker in the public sector, and get everybody on the lower end on a living wage that they could survive when the month comes. That is the law we need to pass.
Sense.
What do you think about that?
Right. But 20,000, we okay with Prime Minister on 20,000. Call I or we can Prime.
Well, we could make an exception for she.
Yeah, and hold
but
on, watch me. Call if you know what going on with some of them MPs and some of them ministers right now, their money is not them owning. The country basically shut down, CPEP, nothing moving. You know. So them basically feeding families right now. You know.
And look what you bring up there now. And here and look what PNM do them. Look what's how PNM wicked.
Yeah.
PNM gone and say, hey, we go in court and fight for all you.
Yeah.
So all you go get back all your work and we go do this. But hear what? Who is the lawyers we're going to represent them in court? Let me just assume that they win a case in the court. Who you feel going to get the money by? Not the same PNM lawyers?
Yeah.
You feel the poor people are not going to get anything?
I hope that they go to court because really and truly, we need to know when the press conference is hosting. We need to know if the hosting now. Let me come off the line. We want to find out where Faris is.
Lost in court. With Faris, here what happened? Faris, well, he's a special case. You understand?
Yeah.
I want to know why to investigate or pull he in somewhere as yet. Because he makes threats of sedition. What? Couple of days after election, he make threats out that listen, nobody is going to last 6 months in no government here. And talking about war and all kind of stupidness he talking about. And trying to incite people into becoming violent in this country. But yet still it has a hole here. You know, maybe it's but he's here in MP because here what we kick him out down here in San Fernando West.
Right.
We are wanting.
All we need.
He making million.
The only thing we need it for him right now, we need him in front of the camera. We need him in front of a press conference explaining himself to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Exactly. That's what we need right now. That's what we want.
You explain. Let he explain what give he the authority to do what he do days before election.
And I hope catch on. If you ain't catch on what it is, I now run from the Douglas politics from Mr. Annie Roberts. Go back on Anil page. Listen to what it is Anil saying. These people were well aware of the corruption that they were practicing. They were bullying people.
All of them are aware, but they're singing for the suffer.
Yeah.
Because they never expected PNM to end up in opposition.
But them had to be mad. Them had to be mad.
You understand? They expected that. Then people living in our bubble. Partner, it still have people supporting PNM, kill them till they're dead, you know.
I agree with this. I agree with this. Well, I mind if people supporting PNM, you know. It cannot tell me it's African people still supporting PNM. That is not making sense. They have to be mad people. I ain't mind if people supporting PNM. But African people have no reason to be supporting PNM in this country. If there's one group of people who are supposed to have nothing to do with PNM, it's African people.
Let me get a little something. I in a group. I in a group, right? That is a unionized group. And you know, we had a conversation the other day. Remember when something come up the other day and they say what?
Yeah.
Who was it? Castidoli, I think it was what? PNM Chiron. When she make a statement about PNM Chiron.
Yeah.
And I make a statement. I say, if we still have PNM Chiron in Trinidad, who's that PNM Chiron? I know that Chiron in Trinidad. Me know that no PNM and UNC Chiron.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, a man jump up and say, he's a PNM child.
He's a PNM child.
He literally there, he's a PNM child. I say, so when you go to buy grocery and the thing is, and the pharmacy and thing is, tell them he's a PNM child too.
Me? When I hear that, I just make sure and take a vivid remembrance of the face, because anywhere I go, I have to make sure you ain't skip no line. You have to wait. You ain't coming and go in front of nobody else in this country. He's a PNM child. You stay a PNM child. I hope you say so.
Exactly. What tell him, I can't tell you over the radio and the TV. You understand?
All right.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I get you.
But I tell him, I tell him, I hear what? Basically, I tell him, I say, here what happening, partner. I say, well, you know, if you're a PNM until you, well, go and do it quick now. Quick, and save me the trouble in Trinidad and Tobago. Because all this was the problem in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, boss.
Yes, man. But getting back to the main point, we have to have salary equity in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
We can't continue down this road about making some ultra rich and making some ultra poor.
Yes.
Yes, man. I will listen off here. I will take back that thing with Anel because normally I just watching for the day.
Yeah, no, don't miss that. Make sure, and when you get it, share it to the people and them, you know, share it to all your contacts.
Of course, but Felix, I just share everything. We have to keep people don't understand. I keep saying the election 2020 on the 28th April, the election we win. Right? Yeah. That was only a battle now. The war now starts.
For real.
The war now starts. Yeah. People don't understand that. Because from the time we win the election, all these symptoms are we had before the coup in 1990 start a proper party.
Yeah. And it's not like all
the symptoms. If you was wrong, all the symptoms, everything going on in the country right now, everything the opposition doing, was the same exact thing they was doing back then.
Thank you.
We had to pass the way. We had to recognize it and call them out and put a stop to it.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Shoot them down one time. No. We are taking that. We are taking that. We are tolerating that stupidness again. I go tell it about a video that came out years after the coup when they finally do a commissioner inquiry and thing, right? And somebody they do a little video. And that fella, we former prime minister make a statement in that video. And from the time that man said that, I say, you see, he was involved in that.
Yeah.
Because when a man say, hey, you have to, once you cut off the head of the chicken, the rest go follow. What a man telling you, eh? You know that video disappear and I never see it turn back up on the TV nowhere else again?
I go look for it.
You understand what I say?
I go look for it.
Yeah. Anyhow, partner. Hold it on. I watching you, you know.
All right, thank you much. Thank you much, caller, and thanks to the call, thanks to the support, and thanks to the endorsement. All right, let me take this one more before we go. Bless good afternoon, caller. Let me take this one more call before we go. Talk to me.
Bless evening, Brother Felix and all the listeners. Brother Felix, I want to ask you that I hear the bush cutter working hard, but I get a feedback. But I'll see to talk over it. But Faris on the phone is all right. But I want to ask Faris, right, and remind the public that they borrow money. They sell out the state asset from Kiko.
Yes.
What in the hands of Kiko.
Yes.
And they finance that budget to give CPAP extra money. You know? So here what's going on. Big man thing. All the callers call in and they share their view, which is the rights of the caller. But tell the callers, and when they say shoot it, kill it, and done with them, say politically. Yeah. Because them dog on them looking for ammunition. Yeah. Right? But here what's going on. Between me and the big man thing, I want you to tell your representative, right? Yeah. That I want to get in touch with the lawyers and them to file a case of misbehavior in public office, and I want back my money. Yeah. Hear what's going on. I want to see all the callers and them. Yes. All the time we're talking. I want the help for him to get a lawyer to do it pro bono, and we going after them. Because here what's going on. I see where my constitution rights, because you see them 3 tanks in the back of you, 1 missing. Yeah. And you see your number 3, 4, and 2. Yeah. But you see the one end? Yes. That's how the rest do it. But here what's going on. I want my money. And if people want to just only talk and vent, I want to give you an assignment. Tell them I give it the statement. Yeah. And I give it, and then we come up with the ground. Because billions and billions gone. Because it's time they give me a comfort. Yes. Because Paris ain't coming out, Penny ain't coming out, Scotland ain't coming out, Caribbean ain't coming out, and Gonzales ain't coming out. Yeah. And Cockford Dolly, I mean Rasty Dolly ain't coming out. So here what's going on. If they want we come to them, I want a help to file, you understand, as a citizen. Yeah. Because here what's going on. My earnings was disrupted, and I see now it was this misappropriate in our office. Yes. It's time we put a stop to it. True. And I call it on the commissioner of police, because back then a talk show host called on the police to say that there are people going to protest. I call it on the police to investigate and to call it people and ask a statement. I'm willing to give a statement. Yeah. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you much, caller. Only we gotta take this one more. This is a caller from long time. Big man, how you doing? Let's good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Talk to me. How you doing?
Yeah, Mr. Felix. I look success in the house. Listen now, I wouldn't be long, right? But I want to ask you a question.
Talk to me.
You know, Mr. Rowley, right? The former Prime Minister, right?
Yeah.
He still have a diplomatic passport?
I don't know. We go find out along the way. We go find out.
Yeah, because I hear this man talking about Interpol. Like if Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens are very stupid and ignorant people. I don't know. This man is a miscreant, you know. Yeah. Yes. Something wrong with that man, you know. But the other thing I want to go on quickly. Faris, you can make a big deal. You and all here. Yeah. I want them to hear my voice saying that. Because what's man? God don't sleep. What he can be doing poor people in this country, them kind of wickedness, boy. Yes. 10 years. 10 years are evil. All of that church. They want to do poor people church in this country. $140-something billion in debt. All the wicked boy. Anyway, I go on Mr. Felix. I don't want to be too long. You understand?
Thank you much.
Okay, God bless.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it's not just It's not just to say it's $144 billion borrowed, and is that, you know, it's the most amount of money with all the government put together that has ever been borrowed, that former administration borrowed. Only this stant here, I have to get a stant. I have to get that. Bless good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Felix. This is Granny.
Tanti, I seen the call.
Well, a day, boy, a day. A day I was studying the woman who they kidnapped.
Yes.
And I was studying the girl who the man chopped up.
Yes.
Put the body in a suitcase and throw it in the pond. And then it's just going extortion. You come karate, or you ask the man for money. You have so much and so much, or you want to give him so much and so much. I think the rest of the shoot the man. But I call to compliment you, CC, Heavy, the Grand Report, and to compliment the government. No, Camera, and Minister of National Security, Commissioner of Police.
Yes.
Compliment them, the working.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and good. They're using this time, your young businessman, they're using the thing on the bandit. I want to compliment them, police, and the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, how they're using.
Yes.
I will use a Hindi word, I will use the rare word. How they're using the banduk, and they're getting at them. And they're getting at them, and they're taking them one by one. And God, Felix, yesterday was 8 days that woman, and she had nothing.
Yes.
She just living as usual as everybody.
Yeah.
She's her business. What do you do that for?
Misinform and inform and
I compliment the police. I want them to do that.
Yeah.
Let the police take them one by one. And anybody who could take them, they take them.
Thank you.
The whole of Trinidad. Let me tell you something, Felix.
Yes.
Under Rowley, the whole of Trinidad nearly gone bandit. And then that one in BTM saying it's war we won. And Becker saying we afraid camera. Well, nobody afraid them. The police working.
Yes.
The government working. And all the working. God bless all you. Granny there with all you.
Yes, man.
Granny ain't nobody and nothing.
Granny? Granny ain't talk your preach, and thanks for your contribution, Granny, and bless you in that your day. I want to say a blessed afternoon to David. I seen Caribbean Soul Up, Sammy TK. Oh, God. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, calling from Granny.
Granny in the building. Talk to me, Granny.
Right, so I know your program, the PNM, they send spies on your program, because once you have a good show, they send spies. But anyhow, I have some information.
Talk to me.
I have a source in the CIA. Rowley was placed on that Interpol list because he was friends with Epstein as part of a pedophile ring, allegedly.
Okay, I've been
so
here something.
Look into that.
I've been here something about that. There's whispers about that. I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, it's alleged that Rowley Stewart Young, Faris, Foster Commons, and this next lawyer fella from Tongue. What's the name I get in my arm? It's part of a pedophile ring, and they catch it up with them one by one.
One by one. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he called Interpol on himself if he go answer to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, and the government and the commissioner had nothing to do about that. These fellas flying all over and allegedly interfering with little children. It's like a culture in the PNM. It have a shop that report on the PNM with these things going on for quite some time now,
Yes.
allegedly.
Yes.
You know, but what in the dark has come to the light. Those things are wrong. And parent supporters should never support people like that. You know? Anyhow. Right. I have a great day, and I hope the parent supporters join the UNT as soon as possible.
Yes, man.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, again, it's Ollie Boy Irvin, and I must thank you all very much for tuning in, for viewing with us, for listening with us. Again, I continue to send some love to my UNC family, to my coalition family. I'm sending some love to Tobago, big up yourself, TPP. We're sending out some love to Cedros area in Buenos Aires, Caracas, Port of Spain, Silots, but I in Saparia, you could be in Princeton, you could be in Edinburgh, 500, you could even be down in Golconda, you could be in Rosilac, you could be in Dow, whether you're in Labre, in Point Fortin with me, brothers and sisters, you could be in Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, wherever you at this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. I'm sending out some love to Toronto, big up yourself. I'm sending out some love to Long Island, big up yourself. Queens, Bronx, to the Bronx. Hey, Manhattan, Staten Island, big up yourself. I must send out some love to my beautiful mother down in Georgia. Dada, you know your son love you. Must send out some love to my stepfather, Toronto. I see you in the building. I must send out some love to my stepfather, Ed, big up yourself. My sisters, I should say, big up yourself, the little baby, because you know we are the little these days. All you're doing today, girl, Trinidad and Tobago, brothers and sisters, family and friends, wherever you at this afternoon, I continue to thank you to my East Indian population in Trinidad. All you big up on yourself. Remember, we're doing this thing in unity. To my African population in Trinidad and Tobago, all we have to stay focused. We have to align ourselves with the relevant information and participate in relevant things that will uplift our communities. Chinese and the Syrians, everybody, let we continue doing our part. But Trinidad and Tobago, we have a responsibility to remember that our words, this is just my words, our words is here. Every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. So my responsibility is to continue to ask you, all you tune in to the Prime Minister's page, tune in to all the ministers on them page, tune in to your councillors page, tune in to your member of parliament page. Brothers and sisters, you need to tune into the UNC supporters page, the people who continue to have content surfacing on a daily basis. Again, you know we have the Douglas politics out and about. We already are aware of the ground report. Let me be real, breaking down is there. Opinion boxes out and about. You know, real talk with Felix is out and about. We just didn't give Mr. Ian all any respect because God know that man does deal with some very serious cases. And again, I want to add to the list. I want to add this group. Hunter Search and Rescue, the two groups. We begin up Hunter Search and Rescue. We begin up with our supporters, the viewers. We begin up our listeners, Trinidad and Tobago. We begin up you, the entire Caribbean and the world in extension. Again, is your boy Irvin. This has been a next episode of Real Talk, ladies and gentlemen, and I thank you. Hey, hold on, one more thing. Is 600 of our brothers and sisters up there. If you notice what is going on with the phone line is rather active. I'm just saying you don't know what it is we're doing. We could really do it a little support when it comes to dealing with that. So we could do it on next phone line. If the Lord laid upon your heart and what's me, you understand what we're going through, let me get it going rapid. And you say, well, boy, let me donate our phone line to Felix and them now, boy. I could do that, ladies and gentlemen. Because I think we could be able to answer the phone calls a little more faster. We could cut it down a little shorter where we could have more people calling in because the phone line is really blazing hot and it's one line we have. So if the Lord laid upon your heart this Tuesday and you say, but yeah, what's going on? We supporting Real Talk supporting the cause, Real Talk out and about. Please feel free to call in. Again, brothers and sisters, we continue to stand by our Honorable Prime Minister. We standing with our logo. We standing with our decision. Matter of fact, big up yourself, my member of parliament. Down in Cedros Day this afternoon, Mr. Raymond Ernesto Kiza. Cedros, big up yourself. Professor Wall Street, we've seen that. Who we have again? I call in opinion box. I don't know if I call opinion box. Big up yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Who we have again by they tell me about Wall Street. WYNZ. We got TC and Heavy. Let me don't forget TC and Heavy with the future talk moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, and the list goes on. We brother Jason De Silva, who does be on TikTok. Big up yourself, brother, because you just be out and about. You just keep it real. You just do a little cussing thing. But again, nobody can tell you how to deliver your message because I know let's get the message. Right? So again, Trinidad and Tobago, I want to continue to send out some love to Mr. Arnold Roberts, WZYE TV. Right? We begin up WZYE TV. And brother, when you had the chance, while you run up and check these things and them out there, run up and understand that it's our responsibility to stay informed, it's our responsibility to stay updated. You see the games that the opposition is playing, the former administration is playing, while they poorly represented us, while they did not bring the relevant support, and on top of that, promote racialism throughout our nation. All we trying to do, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, is pick up the pieces, get back our refinery, and move forward. And for some strange reason, we end up with this conversation. This is as easy. So, Faris could have kept a press conference yesterday. But today, no, we still have to ask for it because you can't come and bring in Interpol. No, if Interpol had to investigate Faris, well, then we talk about Interpol, but we have enough sense to know them don't have to investigate Faris. So do not be distracted. Please don't be fooled by commercials. Everything that glitter is not gold. These games that these people playing, they publicly disrespected every single person. So today, as we continue to stand with Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bisesa, as we continue to support Mr. John Jeremy, as we continue to stand with our Commissioner of Police, ladies and gentlemen, we stand with the UNC and the coalition, we stand with TPP. Matter of fact, we stand in unity, we stand with love, and we stand with respect. Again, we continue to encourage our government. Go through the extra measures to make sure that you weed out this branch of corruption that was able to grow on our constitution, on our treasury. Weed it out. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is your boy Irvin. Again, I want to thank you for your support, your love, your encouragement, and your endorsement as we go forward. So have a blessed remainder of the day.
Hear the cries in the streets at night.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we have one phone line, so if the Lord laid up on your heart, we could really do with that support. I must send out some love. I must send out some love to every single one of our brothers and sisters.
We see them changing the ground, and with the fruit of love from the storm. So we can rise from the shadows as we shine. Through the pain and the sorrow, leave the darkness behind. For the youths and the future, let the healing be.